Boomhauer69's channel, and today Boomhauer's going to do another talk video. This is an update on what I've been doing with the horseless carriage idea, the wanting to build a car that looks like it came out of the 1800s, 1900s. Now to recap, for all the new people that are subscribed to the channel that don't go back and watch my previous videos, which I highly recommend you do. My idea is, in the near future, is to build a car that looks like it came out of the 1800s and 1900s. I have 3 right now ideas of a vintage car I'd like to build. And for those who don't know what a horseless carriage is, a horseless carriage term, anyways, if you don't know what a horseless, the word horseless carriage means, term, I should say. That was the term given for cars back in the day when cars were first being invented and were introduced in the world. My goal is to simply do what Carlos Benz did, Henry Ford, REOs, the Dodge brothers, and General Motors, Chevy, and all of them did back in the day. You know, they wanted to build a car, they built it, and then they made it into a business. And that's simply my idea, is to build something. I was always fascinated with cars of the from that time period, and so what I've been doing is, as of lately, I have just been doing a lot of research, been getting online, looking at different designs, and really trying to, basically in my head, paint that mental image in my head of what I want and what I would like to do. Because my goal is, when I get the funding, is find basically a designer, a drafter, some sort of like mechanical engineer that could draw up the plans and draw up the blueprints and be like over his shoulder saying, this is what I want, yeah, this is good, this is bad, keep this, keep that, blah, blah, blah. And then make videos, and then, you know, find somebody to help draw up the blueprints, basically, and then talk about the blueprints and the ideas on YouTube, and then make videos about that later on and stuff. And really, I just been doing a ton of research, you know, how were cars built that back in the day, you know. I want to also build what they used to call a tiller steering, you know, that had that little lever, kind of like, I'll use this as an example, but you had that little lever instead of a circle steering wheel. You just had a little shifter about in the middle that you could turn right or left to steer, you know, what they used to call tiller steering, as they call it. That's something I would like to do, is build a car that has tiller steering, as well as a car that has a regular round circle steering wheel. But that's the goal, and I've been as of lately, just been simply looking at pictures on Google and watching videos, whether it was a video about some guy just driving around in a parking lot in his Model T and paying attention to the controls, and how did the dash look in that car, and how did this look and that look and all this, and really trying to paint that mental image. It's one of those things where I got it in my head, it's right up here in my head, and now it's just trying to figure out how to make it a reality, you know. As of right now, I don't have the funding, but no money. I do have money, but it's just not enough that it would take to simply make this idea. And that's why you people watching these videos, subscribing to my channel, you're going to help me make this idea a reality, because I'm always looking. You're going to help me make this a reality by subscribing to the channel. That's going to help out greatly. And that's what I do, is I get online, I look at the way the seats were designed, and this style car, and the way they had the motors positioned. Look at cars that had the motor up in the front, the motors in the rear, and the motors in the middle, and how did they have the types of wheels and stuff, and what kind of wheel setup would I do, and tire size, and all that. That's what I do off camera. It's just all kinds of research on the history of cars from that time period, and how did they look and how they do it, because that's my goal, is to build my own style car from the ground up, where I could basically, if I had a time machine, I could go back in time and give Dodge, the other Dodge, Ford, Chevy, General Motors, all of them, and Oldsmobile, a run for the money and say, hey, look at what I got, And now, granted, the only thing is, on my design, I would do something, I would add a few little modern day features, like, for one, obviously modern day braking system, instead of trying to do like what they did back in the day, create some weird brake system to make the car stop. No, I'm just I would look at the different types of modern day braking system and had obviously like modern day brakes, and of course a few other little modern upgrades. But basically the idea and goal for me is to be able to build my own style car from the ground up. Do what Henry Ford did. Do what Carl Benz and all those people did. And make it where when you're riding in a parade or something, or driving it around town, if I could get it street legal, that's a whole nother ball game there. But where people would be looking at it and saying to me, wow, that is a cool vintage car. What type of car is that? And what year was that made? That looks like it was made in 1912 or 1905 or 1909 or something, And they're asking like, hey, what company made that? And then be able to tell them, say, no company made that. That was my design. This is what I created, and tell them, and be able to sit there and tell these people, I had a vision, I had an idea, and I made it a reality, and this is what came out. And people would be saying, wow, that's amazing, because that's what I like. Even though this stuff has already been done already, there's some people out there like, oh, well, that's already been done for. Henry Ford did that years ago. Carl Benz, yeah, so why don't I'd be like, yeah, so I don't care. I did it myself. That's my goal, and make it a reality. Whoops. I'm going to leave that blooper in there. Camera fell down a while leaving there. But yeah, that's basically my goal, is to do what they did and make my own design, Right now, I don't have the money to be doing any sort of thing, because it's going to take a lot of money and stuff. But that's my goal, is to make this car idea look practically to the T, right down to every little nook and cranny, to make it look like something that came from that time period, I still haven't decided, do I want to try to kind of, my goal is to make something that, just make it look like it came out in 1900s. Not worry about trying to make something that looks exactly like a 1915 or 1905, but just something that looks like it came out of the 1800s and 1900s, and not really focus on like an exact year really per se, But that's my goal, and that's one of the things I've been working on, because once I can figure out how to make this YouTube channel successful, and how to grow it, and how to make it get the reality, then I'm going to do that things, because by you people subscribing and sharing my videos, you're going to help me make this idea a reality, and all my other ideas a reality that I talked about on this channel before, because that's one of my goals, is this idea. And basically, all I've been doing is off camera, is just a ton of research, spending time looking at different videos about cars, whether it's just some guy touring around in a parking lot in his Model T, or some guy showing off his old Chrysler Dodge he had from 1901 to hay, and just really focusing on the every little details about those vehicles and all that stuff, I even looked at cars old cars, and I even pay attention to a lot more the cars from that time period, brands that didn't last very long, defunct, and that went debunked and stuff, and really pay attention to them as well. But yeah, that's my goal and idea, is to simply build a car from the 1800s, and that looks like something came from the 1800s. I'm going to do 3 types. I'm going to do, well, roughly 3 types. I'm going to do convertible, hardtop, and then I call it tiller steering, and yeah, basically, well, I call it to do, hardtop, convertible, and then what they call hardtop, full enclosed, and then and then do like a tiller steering style car that would be convertible and hardtop as well, and that's basically my goal. Like, even just lights, like I noticed on a lot of those cars back then that did have like electric lighting, they had these big old round headlights, and so what do? I go online and look at on Amazon or something, like, okay, what types of headlights that would be perfect, that are big, round, and gaudy, and a lot of motorcycles nowadays, they have a big round headlight on the front, and so I thought, oh, that would be a good idea. Go basically with like motorcycle style headlights that are big and gaudy and stuff, and looking at different parts. And once I get the funding, little by little, I'm going to buy little parts and odds and ends here and there, and where basically I'll have this big old giant box of parts, and then find a business or something that can help me take basically a puzzle and help me put it together and make it a reality and stuff. Because I would have to, for me anyways, I would have to find a fabrication shop to help me build and make this project a reality and stuff. I would need help. Basically, like what I would have to do is basically what Steve Jobs did. Go to a group of people and say, hey, this is my idea, yada, 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 make it a reality. And that's what I would have to do. And hopefully someday I can do that, get the money and be able to do that. So again, by you subscribing to this YouTube channel, Boomhauer69, and sharing my videos with everyone you know, because that will help me get more views and more subscribers. By you people sharing this stuff, you're going to help me make my dreams a reality and stuff. And for those of you who have already been doing that, to all my 643 subscribers and viewers as well, I want to say thank you, because you are helping me make my dreams a reality and stuff. So yeah, hope you all have a good day. I hope you enjoyed that little blooper where the camera fell down, because I'm just using a tablet and no fancy tripod or anything. It's just basically a basic camera. So hope you enjoyed that little blooper and you got a chuckle out of it, Well, hope you all have a good day, and thank you for watching Boomhauer69. That's the update for you on the horseless carriage. It's just simply me off camera doing a ton of online research, basically I call it. So hope you enjoyed this video. Comment your thoughts below and stuff if you like. Don't forget to share this video, because that's definitely going to help me out. Thank you for watching Boomhauer69's channel.